Yeah. What's good, yo? So, like, on this video, guys, I wanna give you some insight, right, on how to level up as a spirit. Understand? As a spiritual being, how to level up, right? So, let's get it. Boom. So, when we start to talk about leveling up your spirit, right, we have only three things that you need to look into. Only three things. And nobody's gonna ever, maybe there are some obviously that are gonna teach you, but nobody's gonna ever give you a clear perspective as to how you can use these three attributes, right, for yourself as an individual. Nobody will clearly show you or explain to you how you can do that. You yourself will have to cut off everything that you know, right, about the world, and then about what other people have already taught you about the world, and then start to develop your own imagination. You understand? So that's the first recipe, right, or ingredient: imagination. First things first, you will not be able to level up to any significant height. You'll never go any higher above yourself, right, above your current self, than you believe you can. You understand? So it's like your imagination is limited to your beliefs, right? Your imagination is limited by or within your belief structures, right? So now, your imagination, right, is the first pillar of your level or your lever that's gonna level you up to another phase or another level, version, part of yourself, right? It is only through your imagination, and your imagination is that's why I even wrote it on that paper that you just saw on the bureau. It's faith, belief, and imagination. Because when you are in the third level dimension, you can only rely upon faith to make your imagination appear. Understand? And when you are on the non-physical, aka on the imagination realm, right? So you are in the 9. The faith is the 3. The imagination is the 9. And then belief is the 6, what you pay attention to, right? So now, imagination and faith are pretty much one thing from different perspectives, right? When you are in the non-physical, you look at faith as an imagination, right? It's what you want to create in the physical. So that's faith. That's your imagination that you're going to create. And when you are in the physical, you look at your imagination and it raises what? Faith. So it reflects faith. So whatever that you're imagining and you have faith that is going to come to pass, then it's going to come to pass. You understand? Considering that you've already paid attention to the fact that you believe in it, because you have to always keep giving it that attention, understand? To say, okay, I believe in this, I believe in this. Because if you forget about it, then it's gonna fade away, you understand? It doesn't matter what kind of idea it is. So now, I wanna be as detailed as possible, right? How you can use all these things in a proper way, right? In a linear fashion, right? So that you will know what you're doing when you're using it. So that you will know which one you are working with when you are working with it, So now, we have the imagination, right? What is imagination? An imagination is any picture that you can form in your mind. That's an imagination. Understand? It's what you magically make out of your nation in your head. Understand? Your nation, your world, your life, your desire, your everything that is sprouting of life within you, right? AKA ideas that bring magic into the nation. You understand? So is that imagination? There's a lot of way to break it down. And if you understand Gemashi, right? So now, if you have an idea, right, as I said, an imagination is an idea that brings magic. Magic being something that is new or mysterious or at, or like gives good feedback, right? Gives exciting feedback. So an idea that gives exciting feedback to the nation, right? When you have that's what imagination means. Don't think that because you can imagine like this mess, right? Just because you can imagine these mess doesn't mean that now you are using your imagination properly. No. To know if you are using your imagination properly, right? That's how you're gonna know it. Is because you have an idea that brings excitement to our nation, to your nation, your world. And in essence, when you start to take it out, it's gonna bring that excitement externally. You understand? So that's how you properly identify what you are trying to imagine and how you can use it in your daily life. Right? The proper way. Not the way that you've been taught that, okay, visualize this, visualize the car. No. You imagine, you come up with an idea, or you wait for an idea, or you conjure up an idea that brings excitement to your world. If it doesn't excite you mentally, physically, spiritually, then it won't excite nobody else in the world. Understand? So that's how you identify if you have a good idea or a good imagination or a weak imagination. AKA, if you have a good imagination, people are going to be excited about your dreams and goals and ideas, even if they don't know you, even if they don't know those goals. But when they see you, they're gonna say, okay, I wonder what even to themselves, they're gonna say, I wonder what that person is doing with their life. It seems like they are doing something, So that's how you know you have a good imagination. Now, how do you know that you are believing in that imagination? Because when you believe in it, you are giving it life, right? So, B is to enter, right? Live, aka live means a higher form of substance, right? Or a high value form of substance. A substance that is low is a valuable substance in the physical, and the substance that is low, that is logic, is very low in value in the physical world, right? And if it's life, living, then it's a very valuable substance. You understand? So when you believe, you are putting yourself in the shoes of a valuable substance to say, okay, I trust this substance to take me to where I want to go. Right? So now you have an imagination, you have an idea that excites the nation internally and externally, right? And now you want to be in that idea so that what? So that you can bring value to it because you are alive, right? And then that B is just a frame of reference, a stance, a position, right? A, B. But E tells us that it's in, right? That whatever that's being, the position that is in the B, it's inside. If it's E, if it's O, it's outside. Things like that. So now you have an idea that excites the nation, right? And then you want to be, right? You want to add your substance, right? So you believe, you add your substance, your valuable substance, your life, your anything that you can think that is of value to you. You are adding it there, understand, to your idea that you've imagined that's gonna excite the nation. That's gonna bring more life to the people. So now, once you are in that idea, right, and it's giving off the life, right? It's giving off your life. Because when you believe it, you're always gonna think about it every day, right? Then when you think about it every day, you develop what we call faith. Fa, aka father, right? An idea, right, that comes first and that cannot be destroyed. It's like a masculine energy idea, you understand? It's like an idea that is pushed off by a man, you know. So we all have men and female energies within us, right? So now when you start to talk about faith is a masculine energy. Belief is a feminine energy. That's why you have to go into something before you can believe it. You cannot believe something you haven't been into or you haven't seen, right? But you can have faith in that. So it's a faith is a masculine idea of we can look at words like thought, right? Anything that has th, that ends with th, is still being reconstructed, like it's in construction mentally. You understand? It's something that is being constructed mentally. It's a thought. Uh, think about the word Thor, and think about the guy Thor and how he uses that thing. He uses it to like continuously rain, right? To rain power. He uses that that hammer, that which he calls Thor, to rain power. You understand? So any idea, right, that you that is the first idea, because you start to have the first idea, right, and then you can have faith, and then you can develop belief from that faith, but you can never uh, have belief, right, and then try to develop faith from your beliefs, or try to develop faith from your imagination. I mean, because no, you can develop faith from your imagination, but considering that you believe that thing. Because if you don't believe it, you're gonna completely discard, right? But that's besides the fact. For a masculine energy thought, that is I, that you have conjured up, right? So is the highest, like, valuable thought that you, aka your imagination. So that's why I said faith and imagination are just one thing. You understand? Faith from the spiritual world is imagination, and imagination from the physical world is faith. They are just entangled in a sense that when you poke this one, you have to poke that one. And if you poke this one will automatically be poked. If you use your imagination, you're gonna come to a point whereby you hit the wall, right? You come to an idea that definitely makes you stuck because it has to be executed. It has more pull, it has more desire for you to just can live it off like that. So again, that's just my another demonstration to show you that faith and imagination are one thing. What we are trying to understand now is the belief factor, that you have to give life, basically. You have to be the life of that idea. Don't expect somebody else to bring that idea out of you or into life for you. You have to be the one to bring that idea into life. That's basically what belief means. The ability to bring your own idea to life. Simple. So now, here's it. That's the recipe, guys. That's the recipe to leveling up. You use your imagination or your faith, because faith and imagination are one thing. And depending on how you go into one, that's how you're going to come out of one. But when you start to get it takes a little bit more spiritual inclination for you to understand. But then that's how you level up, guys. From a spiritual nature, not from a physical nature. Because I know a lot of you are seeing that there's a lot of things that I'm leveling up physically, but you were not being aware, right, when I was leveling up on a spiritual level, because you can never see that anyway. Everybody develops or levels up spiritually in their own genesis. Nobody will ever know how much spiritual inclination you are making, right? They can only know their own. That's why somebody who's viewed as less significant in the world can be much more powerful than Donald Trump, And there are a lot of people like that who could just take Donald Trump's position in a minute, but because they have conjured up other things that they know that it's necessary for them to do, then they'd rather do other things, So it's not even about power, status, or all of that. It's just understanding who you are and where you come from a spiritual nature, right? Not from a physical nature to say, okay, I come from Africa, whatever. No. Where do you come from? That's a question you'll never answer with your mouth. You can only answer with your spirit, with your action, not even your actions. Your faith, belief, and imagination. Episode in a building. Man!